Oh, hello again. Um, I thought I would describe what I think is a very unusual, very unusual experience. It's unusual for me, and okay, I'll just tell you what it is. I won't just try to tell you exactly as it happened. All right. So, in my brother Bruce was an assistant producer for CBS News in Rome, Italy, and he's 3 years younger than I am. And he in 1986, right? I got a telephone call. We had actually, excuse me, just begin to. I'd already visited him in Rome, not that long before that. Within a year before that. So I got a phone call, and he said, "I have some good news and some bad news." And I said, "What's the good news?" He said, "The good news is I'm on the Who Square." Now the Who Square and the CBS system at that time was a record worldwide of where the more important people in CBS were at every moment. So it would say Dan Rather, dinner at La Cave Henri IV till 9 p.m. and then at home. So they could always get a hold of you if you were an important figure in the CBS News apparatus. So that's something Bruce had been wanting, and he was on the Who Square, and he was very pleased with that. So then he said, "The bad news is, however, I have the disease AIDS." Now, at that juncture, I would say we all knew what AIDS was, but it was not as well understood then as now, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it was virtually a death sentence. So that was very bad news. So I said, "All right, I will come right away, and I'll be there as fast as I can get tickets and money and all the needful things, and I'll come back." So off I go, and the next day I ran around like a crazy person and got lots of cash and lots of traveler's checks, whatever I got. But it developed that my passport in the interim was about to run out. That is, it would probably, me not knowing how long I would be in Italy, it might have expired while I was in Italy, which didn't seem to me like a good thing. So I dashed over to the U.S. consulate, the State Department office in New York City, which is located at Rockefeller Center. All right, and I made my plea to an official there that who I was, who my brother was, what the situation was, and could they expedite, and bless their hearts, they did. There was a fee, but they got it done basically right away. So right away, like same day, right there. And as I came out of the passport office at Rockefeller Center, it's right across the street from St. Patrick's Cathedral, a gigantic Roman Catholic cathedral, and which is always open and busy and etc. So I said to myself, well, can't hurt, might help. So I went across the street into the cathedral, and I was a wee bit, well, I won't say uneasy, but I'm not a Roman Catholic, so, but there was this big church. A Christian church is a Christian church, and what the heck, right? So I located they have all these side chapels down the sides of the of the cathedral for all different things, just all different things and so forth and so on, and I felt shy to go into one where there were actual believing, practicing Catholics kneeling down there. So I found one that was that had no other people. These are little shrines, sort of thing, and they have an affair where you can light candles and pay, I think, $0.25 per candle, something. There's the contribution, and just pray. So I found a little shrine with three lady saints. All right, so I put in my 75 cents. I lit 3 candles. I knelt down, and being at that juncture way out of practice with the praying routine, I said, well, you know, in my mind, right? I said, well, you know, you 3 are real wallflowers here. You know, it's like nobody's coming to see you. So, so I'm hoping that means that I'll get a good hearing for my request. And I told them that my brother was terminally ill with AIDS, and that I understood it was too much to ask that he live, but that I wanted that he should die without fear, that he shouldn't be afraid. And if they would do that, I would tell people about it. I would tell people what they had done. And basta. That was enough. I left the cathedral and continued on my hunt, you know, for airline tickets and whatever else I needed. All right. And I forgot all about it. So soon enough, I was on my way, winging my way to Rome, Italy, and so land there, you know, and I check into a little hotel on Via Pellegrino, right near my brother's loft apartment, which is in the historic center of Rome, Vicolo della Maretta, it is called, which Vicolo is an alley, and it's little changed now. This is still exactly as it was. If you're there, you can go have a look at it. It's right off the Corso, right near the Corso, right near Nuovo Chiesa, the new church it's called. So if you ask any Rome cab driver to take you to the new church, you know, Arcolo Nuovo Chiesa, they'll get you there. All right. So he was out of the hospital. He had been in the Institute of Infectious Diseases at the University of Rome, and had some excellent oncologists and infectious disease specialists. This was only the, I think, like 183rd case of AIDS in Italy. So it was very early days, and little was known about it. And in any event, I don't know if you've experienced this, but you know, AIDS, you know, it's like totally fatal. I was a little bit afraid, and I had to say to myself, well, I'm not going to not kiss my brother, and if it kills me, so be it. I'm going to just be normal. But I did this with some trepidations. You know, I didn't use his toothbrush, all right, but, you know, still, one gets these ideas. At all events, about a week passes, and now we're all being Bruce and his boyfriend, Italian boyfriend, Mauro, who was a great, great guy and an excellent painter, and I have one of his paintings here, and I'll show you Mauro's painting. We can do this well. This is too difficult. All right, there's the painting, but you can see it more clearly in other videos. What am I doing? All right, so in any event, on one evening about a week into this visit, Bruce being out of the hospital, we were drinking wine in his kitchen, and he had a little bunch of blocks of very carefully made, probably German blocks, of different shapes, small but colorful. And our game was, each time you would take a little sip of your wine there, and you would place a block on the pile, you know, and try to. And the idea was that you shouldn't knock over the the structure. All right. So, and obviously, as you become more inebriated, it becomes more difficult not to knock over the structure. And we were doing this again and again. So we were getting pretty relaxed. and so I was able to say, oh, Bruce, you won't believe how I was so distraught by this news that I even walked into a cathedral and prayed to these 3 ladies. And with that, the 2 guys, 2 boys stopped, and Mauro, his Italian friend, just looked at me and said, "What ladies?" And I said, "Well, there's 3 ladies, 3 Catholic saints, I think it was Teresa and Margaret and Rose. I don't know, what do I know from Catholic saints? The 3 ladies. I think that's the three saints. What can I tell you? So what?" And Mauro then said, "When?" I said, "Well, I can very readily tell you because I got my passport renewed that day." And I went and got the passport, and I said, okay, it was, 11 a.m. on this date in probably early December 1986. Well, meanwhile, my brother is just has a little smile like this, a little kind of smirk. And Mauro then told me that on that day, Bruce was in the Institute of Infectious Diseases, in his hospital room. And Mauro, came down the hall bringing, whatever, food and goodies and stuff to read. Very, very typical in Italian hospitals, by the way. You may want to have food brought in from a restaurant by your family, and that's what he was doing. And he brought this, the things he was bringing in. And when he came into the room, Bruce said, "Where are the ladies? Where'd the ladies go?" And I said, "What ladies?" and Bruce said, "No, they were just here. They were just here. They were dressed something like nuns." And Mauro said, "There were no nuns here, all right? I walked down the hall. I would have seen them. No nuns. No 3 nuns just left." And Bruce said, "No, they were here, and they touched me all over, and they sort of glowed." He did say, they sort of glowed. They touched me all over, and one said to me, "Do not be afraid. At the end, look for us." So that was that, I will tell you, he died unafraid in February of 1987, about 2 months later. And Mauro died also in Perugia about a year later. And I was able to help him out a little bit. But now, as to what all this means, you tell me. I mean, I'm not really prepared to believe that dead ladies come back on request and make appearances in hospital rooms. I don't believe that. But on the other hand, that's what happened. So I don't know what to believe. But I did not, I did not convert to Catholicism, folks, by the way, or anything like that. But I'm just telling you, that's what happened. I'm very grateful. I promised I would tell people, and I have spent almost 30 years trying to fulfill that, 26 years, trying to fulfill that promise I made to the stone statues. But anyway, that's it, and it's all okay.